What's up, my comic comrades? If you weren't aware, Battle Beast has his own solo series, which takes place before his final battle with Thrag. If you need to catch up with that issue, once again, we covered that issue in a past episode. You can find that down there. So click that link and come back here. With that said, let's get into issue 2 because it is action-packed Battle Beast badassery. The issue starts off exactly where the last one left off, with Battle Beast on his ship eating his latest kill. As Prince Salaka says to Battle Beast, "Surely you see that I am not enough to provide you the sustenance of any worth. The meal before you is 10 times my size." Now, the half-devoured prince is saying this because at the end of the last issue, Battle Beast said he was going to eat him. Battle Beast, in response to him, says, "For countless days now you have prattled on. I may devour you simply to make the feeble sound you emit cease." The prince then cowers as Battle Beast says, "Ship, what is taking so long? Why have we not settled on my next battle and potential demise?" Because remember, Battle Beast is having the ship's AI find him an opponent worthy enough to kill him, as that's all he wants, to find a death by someone strong enough to end his life. The ship answers, "I am now forced to admit to you that this is all a ruse. I have taken you to a pocket of remote space in the hopes that you will starve to death." Battle Beast starts laughing, saying, "Starve? That is your plan?" The AI then says, "I know that you could easily render the ship and by extension myself inoperable. I have considered this. I am willing to accept my own demise if it will bring about yours." Battle Beast responds, "You are a mechanical fool. I am a Dornian warrior of great power. I could rip the ship asunder, send myself adrift in any direction. I would be discovered long before I starve. I simply do not enjoy the sensation of hunger, but I assure you, I know it well." The prince says to himself, "I cannot survive in space." Battle Beast continues to say, "If it is my demise you most desire, I must question your resolve, ship. Do you not want confirmation of my death, to see the deed done?" The ship answers, "That would be my preference, yes. I apologize for the deception, but I attempted to bring about your end in the most efficient way possible. The Colossus was the most powerful opponent I could find in my databases, so I chose to deliver you to that conflict first. I am at a loss on how I could top that confrontation." Battle Beast responds, "This is a disappointment I now share." The prince then speaks up while crawling towards Battle Beast, saying, "Great Battle Beast, may I be permitted to speak?" He replies, "I will allow it, provided there is no begging for me to endure." The prince says, "My kingdom I have asked you to return me to. It was overthrown by the Colossus and his sister, who is far more vicious and deadly than him. It was her who betrayed him and banished him in the Cosmic Nail. In order to do that, she would have had to defeat him in battle. I'm sorry I do not have an accounting of the events, as most of this occurred while I was inside the Colossus, and I'm only going by what I could hear. If the vast riches I have promised you are not incentive enough for you to return me home, I think I see another way to entice you. If a battle vicious enough to end your life is what you for some reason seek, you will find it on my home world on Fantania. There you can face the Juggernaut." Battle Beast then stands up, saying, "If this sister Juggernaut is more powerful than the Colossus, we shall go there at once," as he continues to eat her brother, saying, "Their taste is exquisite." The prince then crawls to Battle Beast's feet, looks up at him and says, "Okay, you won't regret this. I can return to my kingdom a liberator. You'll get your vicious fight, and I'll get to restore order to what remains of my people. There's just one problem. I prefer my people not to see me in this near-devoured state. It would be unbecoming of my regal heritage. Is there any way you could maybe go somewhere to get me fixed up?" Battle Beast then sits there and thinks as the ship says, "There is a remote outpost that more than likely offers some form of service you need." Battle Beast responds, "I am currently low on weapons. I will allow it."
Hold up, speaking of places you need to go, the ATL Comic Convention is happening in only 3 weeks, and you really need to be there. But maybe you don't know what's up, so check this out. From July 18th through the 20th, Georgia's ATL Comic Convention, today's sponsor, is hosting over 70 celebrities from fandoms such as Marvel, DC, Has-Been Hotel, anime, Twilight, Star Trek, Walking Dead, cartoons, and more. And to give you a little lineup sample, I'm talking Lana, Lex, and Pa Kent from Smallville, Dwight from The Office, and the cast from Cobra Kai, just to name a few. There will also be over 20 artists, comic creators, and authors, a cosplay contest, fan meetups, trivia hours, fandom discussions, advice from authors, and of course, 3 days of celebrity panels, celeb photo ops, and autograph signings. And if that's not enough for you, there will also be hundreds of vendors with one-of-a-kind fandom merch, art, comics, music, and more. But like I said, the ATL Comic Convention is happening in just 3 weeks, from July 18th to the 20th at the Georgia World Congress Center. So grab your tickets right now at atlcomicconvention.com, and if you use our code VARIANT, you'll save 20% on all ticket types. Also, if you're a parent and you want to bring your mini-me, they make it easy to turn it into a family affair because kids 10 and younger are free with an adult ticket. Just click the link in the description below and use our code VARIANT to get 20% off. Now, back to Battle Beast.
Now, if you didn't watch our video on issue 1 or read the issue for yourself, the reason why the prince is half devoured is because the Colossus ate him and Battle Beast found him inside of the Colossus after he defeated him and ripped him open. Anyway, the ship then finds the nearby space station, but says, unfortunately, the station does not have the capabilities of restoring your body organically. It does, however, upon scanning, appear to have one establishment capable of doing so technologically, so of course, Battle Beast and the prince head down there to find said establishment. However, once they're walking in the city, it seems like someone is watching Battle Beast and even says it's him. 100% confirmed intel was good. Put in the call. The scourge of twin galaxies is at last within our grasp. Now, as this is happening, Battle Beast and the prince find the establishment to repair the prince's body. And the prince asks, can I do the talking inside? Might be better. Once inside, the person who works there says, a whole new body? You kidding me? Full body? Head to toe? Full neural alignment? You're talking about, well, that's a complicated piece of machinery. Yes, sir. The prince asks, but you could build it. The worker scratches his head and says, build it? Gosh, no. You crazy? I sell this stuff. I can do a little maintenance if need be, but build it? There's not a single soul on the whole station capable of building something like that. The prince then says, okay, this was a giant waste of time. But the employee then says, maybe so. Got one in the back though, practically brand new. That's the good news. Bad news is the dang thing is so expensive, you'll probably have to win the blood games to be able to afford it. Battle Beast then asks, did you say blood games? Then on the next page, we see that not only has Battle Beast found the blood games, but has entered into them. And the announcer says, a new mystery contestant has entered the games. He hails from parts unknown, and his record is 0 wins and 0 losses. Let's hear it for Battle Beast. His opponent is none other than Krakow. Hailing from the Crystal Palace of Corinth, his record is 9 wins and 3 losses. He hopes to redeem himself this season. Fighters ready? Let the blood games begin. And once Krakow takes a look at Battle Beast, he says, nope, I yield, I'm out. Battle Beast then decimates his round 2 opponent, round 3 opponent, round 4 opponent, and round 5 opponent, easily defeating every single one before ultimately getting to the final round where he faces the uncaring, the unyielding, undefeated Unknown. The Unknown towers over Battle Beast and says to him, face me if you dare, furry one, but know that you stare down the means of your ultimate demise. I live only for battle. I will keep crushing my enemies beneath my feet until one is strong enough to grant me a worthy death and glorious battle. Battle Beast then snarls while saying, same. The two then begin to fight as Battle Beast bites the Unknown's face, tearing off a chunk of it, and when he lands on the ground, Battle Beast says, alas, it appears you will be the one granted the worthy death. But the Unknown responds, my limits are unknown. My power is unknown. I am unknown. Your death is at hand, as he charges towards Battle Beast, but Battle Beast jumps in the air saying, we will see. He then slices off the Unknown's arm saying, your weaknesses are known. Your limits are known. He then takes his sword and puts it through the Unknown's mouth before jumping on top of his sword, forcing it down to slice the Unknown open with its blood and guts spewing everywhere. Once the Unknown's body lays there sliced open on the ground, Battle Beast looks inside his chest and sees a man there and says, what? He then pulls him out bewildered as 4 people come running up saying, stop, you have won. The blood games have ceased. No further harm need befall this individual. He was not himself and you have saved him from that. He can now rejoin us on our voyages. You have done us a great service, Battle Beast. Our friend Warg was lost to his vengeance phase, a cocoon state that prepares his kind for later life. Battle Beast says, I do not care. Your lives are no concern to me. I have won the blood games. Where is my reward? Battle Beast then takes the money he won back to the shop he was at earlier to buy the prince's mech body as well as restock on weapons. Once the prince is in his new mech body, he says, oh man, this feels so much better. Just to be upright again and not dragging myself across the ground. Prince Salaka is back, baby. The prince then walks out enjoying his new body saying, don't you feel good? Battle Beast says, why would I feel good? The prince says, you really don't get it. You helped 2 people today. You helped me get a new body and save the war guy from whatever weird cocoon state he was trapped in. And you got to do a bunch of fighting stuff. You clearly enjoyed along the way. Battle Beast replies, I feel nothing. The prince asks, are you sure? As Battle Beast kind of sits there and contemplates. Once back on the ship and leaving the space station, the computer says, oh no, it appears we're locked in a tractor beam. The ship is unable to escape. As we see a fleet of ships have trapped Battle Beast's ship. Then on the last page of the issue, we see that same being who was following Battle Beast on the space station hails Battle Beast's ship and says, Battle Beast, at long last I found you. You will surrender or be taken with force. As head magistrate for the Twin Galaxies, I am honor bound to bring you back to our capital world of Angorth. There you will be tried for your crimes against my people and summarily executed. You have 1 minute to announce your surrender. Battle Beast just looks at the monitor with rage as the computer says, oh no, however did they find you? It was me. I did it. I discovered the little scourge of Twin Galaxies thing while searching for worthy opponents. So I reported you. I hate you, Battle Beast. And with that, the issue ends. What can I say, guys? This story is just so much fun. It's like watching a blockbuster movie. A great story with amazing action beats and a cool twist along the way. It's one of those titles that's just super easy to read, not complicated to follow, just straightforward, action-packed, compelling entertainment. Needless to say, I'm a fan of the series. It's only 2 issues in, but for me personally, it's on track track to be top 3 titles of the year, maybe even number 1. That's how much I'm enjoying this book. Which shouldn't be all that shocking. It's Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley's return to the Invincible universe, and we all know the Invincible series is one of the best superhero titles of all time. I got nothing but good things to say about this Invincible Universe Battle Beast title, but that's just my 2 cents. Are you guys liking it as much as I am? I gotta imagine you are. It's classic Invincible storytelling. So let us know your thoughts in the comments, and other than that, we will see you next time when we talk about all things comics.